Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we continue the collab with Kuro What Ifs of What If the Good Saiyans won the Civil War, and I hope you guys enjoy. If you missed part 4, go check out on his channel so you will not be confused. Before I get started, hope you subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon to be informed of any future what ifs. Also subscribe to his channel. If we hit the like goal of 30 likes, Kuro What If will make the next part, and if you have what if suggestion for me, write down in comments, and if it's enough interest, I'll do it. Where we left off is we saw Cooler flying through space, and here's the news that his brother and father have been defeated by Saiyans, and he was surprised to hear the news, as the first time he heard Saiyans finding his family, they were nothing, and now they can surpass them? That intrigues him. Maybe he should go visit those Saiyans. It's not like he wants revenge or anything, but to show off his superiority, to show that he's the strongest in the family. So he sets a course to Earth, where it's rumored where the Saiyans are now living. Back to the Saiyans, they have now just returned from Namek. Raymond and Oren catch up with each other while the Saiyans were away, and eventually Oren regained his sister's trust, and now he's also part of the team. And also while the Saiyans were away, they were training with each other, and with Raymond trying to teach her brother the Kaioken, saying that it could be useful. And while they were doing that, Nappa and Broly were training, since they were the only two Saiyans left. Nappa wasn't a very reliable training partner for Broly, but he still got some gains in power. But Broly has still not managed to unlock Super Saiyan. But he gets a different idea. Since Krillin and Chaozu are here, he asked them to teach them the Kaioken, and they agreed. After some time, he does learn the Kaioken quite quickly, and he's able to combine his Ikari form with it. While he cannot push it too much, he can still use it in Times 2 with no strain. And when Raditz, Yamcha, and Piccolo return, they have more training partners, and even if they were dead, it wasn't like they're slacking off. They went to King Kai's planet with Yamcha, Piccolo improving their Kaioken, and Raditz getting a bit better handle on his Super Saiyan form. After some time, they use the Dragon Balls to revive Tien as well. Gohan is happy to see Piccolo and Raditz again, and they usually train together. After some time, Broly also joins with the training, and Gohan and Broly become good friends since they're pretty similar in terms of ideals of fighting. While that was happening, Goku and Vegeta still usually train together since they are the strongest Saiyans besides Broly, and for now their goal is for Goku to unlock that Rage form and Vegeta try to get his primal Super Saiyan under control, because maybe with that power being controlled, it could be a pretty powerful form. After a couple weeks, Bulma gives birth to her and Vegeta's son, a boy named Trunks. Dr. Mew usually works with Dr. Breeds on a certain project that may give them a potential new fighter, but from what they find out, it will take a long time even if they tried their hardest. Until one day, Goku and Vegeta can sense a presence coming to Earth. Its key was similar to Frieza or King Cold, but that's impossible. They know that they were killed, so it must be someone else. So they decide to go to a wasteland, and they wait until this familiar presence arrives. When it does arrive, it was landed on the wasteland luckily, so no civilians would be hurt. And only the Saiyans and Piccolo decide to arrive, because for what they can sense, the humans would just be in the way. They decide to stay back. First, come out of the are three weird dudes who are kinda similar to the Ginyu Force, and they call themselves Cooler's Armored Squadron. Gohan, Nappa, and Raditz decide to take this one. They all power up to Super Saiyan and fight them. But surprisingly, even with Super Saiyan, they're still having a tough time. It seems these clowns are actually pretty strong. The difference in power isn't too much, but they're definitely stronger than the Ginyu Force. But after some time, Cooler exits the ship, and Vegeta's surprised. It is really Cooler. He had heard rumors that Frieza had a brother, but he didn't think that they were actually real. Cooler says that the rumors were true, and he's the elder brother of Frieza, and nothing like him. He has heard the news that his entire family is dead, and has come to show them that he's the most superior out of his family. And so they begin to fight. Piccolo says that he wants to fight him first. So Piccolo and Cooler begin to fight, with Piccolo being in base. But he can see that he's being easily overwhelmed. Even with Piccolo's great power, he just seems to be toying with him. But Piccolo isn't done yet. He removes his weighted clothing and shouts Kaioken times 20. and rushes back into the fight. The fight now seems a little bit more even, but it still seems that Cooler is holding back like a lot, and Piccolo is surprised. Even with his training with King Kai and increased Kaioken, he still can't do anything against Cooler. And after some time, Cooler uppercuts Piccolo to the air and vanishes. When Piccolo begins to fall, Cooler teleports behind him and kicks him back to the ground. Piccolo has been defeated, and Cooler says who's next, because I hope they give a better challenge than that Namekian. Vegeta steps in and says that he'll be his next opponent, and soon to be last. He powers up his Super Saiyan and rushes at Cooler, and now the fight seems a little bit more even, but it still seems that Cooler is still a tiny bit stronger than Vegeta. But Vegeta is not deterred, and they continue fighting. But Broly and Goku can sense that Cooler is still seeming to hold back so much power, and after some time, Vegeta also realizes and asks Cooler what he's hiding. Cooler smirks, revealing that they find out, and he tells them that he has been able to access a form beyond his final form. Not that bulky transformation, an actual next step to his final form. But he says that he knows that Vegeta is also holding back something, so maybe they both should stop holding back and show them their full power. First, Cooler powers up. A dark, imitating aura surrounds him. His body grows, and his head turns to a crown. He seems incredibly intimidating, and the transformation has finished. This is his full power. And they're all shocked. This power is way beyond even King Cold's. And while Vegeta doesn't show it, he's a little bit nervous. He hasn't still managed to master Primal Super Saiyan, but he has no choice. He powers up, trying to gain the power of Ikari in his Super Saiyan form. Green lightning surrounds him, and his pupils explode. Cooler's surprised and impressed with the power. It seems that Vegeta has been holding back a lot as well, but he's still confident in his form, and they both rush at each other. It seems pretty even at first, but Cooler, after some time, gains the upper hand. Not only he has the power advantage, it's also because Vegeta is still fighting like a berserk animal, and he's very predictable. Broly and Goku can see that Vegeta is beginning to lose ground, and they decide not to fight one-on-one anymore, because none of their power can match this guy. So, Broly powers up to Ikari Kaioken times 2, and Goku powers up to Great Force Super Saiyan, and go to help Vegeta. Speaking of Vegeta, he's beginning to lose ground more and more, and after some time has been knocked to the ground. He's still alive, but pretty injured. But then, Broly and Goku rush in to fight, but they're putting even a less fight than Vegeta. Cooler compliments that they're nowhere near as strong as Vegeta. He's surprised that his brother and father have been defeated by these guys. I guess his family has grown weak. Goku tries to summon more power and tries to unlock that rage form, but it's nothing. It seems that only it acts as when intense rage, but now he's not feeling that kind of rage, and after some time he's been knocked to the ground. And Broly, while he can somewhat keep up with him, and he tries to ramp up his Kaioken, he's still no match for Cooler, and was defeated too. He says that they have managed to put up a good show, but now this is the end. He charges up a supernova and is ready to destroy them. Then 3 blasts him on the back. It didn't hurt that much, but still stinged. He looks back and sees the other 3 Saiyans that were fighting his team. It took a while, but they have managed to defeat the Cooler's armor squadron. And Cooler is now pissed, since that was his only army. So he teleports between Raditz and Gohan and knocks them away easily. And Nappa tries to rush in to do something, but he has no chance. He's just being bullied by Cooler, and eventually he turns back to base. Cooler mocks him, asking what's wrong, running out of juice already? He's a disappointment for a fighter. He grabs him by the neck and begins to squeeze. Vegeta, Broly, and Raditz tell him to stop it, but Cooler doesn't listen, and then they hear a snap. Cooler has snapped Nappa's neck. He releases his grip, and Nappa falls to the ground. He was about to say something, but then he senses something, a power increasing from those 2 Saiyans, Vegeta and Broly. Nappa was like an uncle to them. He was the only grown-up left after the planet Vegeta's destruction, and practically raised them. So they both snap. Broly roars. A green and golden aura surround him. Vegeta turns back into a Super Saiyan and also roars. But something's different. Electricity surrounds him like a thunder hit him. Cooler is surprised. Where all this power come from? And when the smoke settles, he sees Vegeta and Broly more clearly. Broly has become a Super Saiyan, but he has no pupils, and Vegeta seems to become that primal Super Saiyan once again. No, something's different. He's surrounded by blue lightning, and his hair's spikier, and he actually has pupils. Before he has any time to react, Broly and Vegeta attack him from both sides, and even when Cooler powers up and tries to defend himself, he has no chance. Well, he's able to sorta keep up with Vegeta, but Broly is on a whole other level, and he's unable to fight back with the Savage Saiyan's fighting style. Broly uppercuts Cooler to the air. Broly and Vegeta in unison fire their blasts, with Broly fighting a knockdown, and Vegeta fires his new technique, the Final Flash, at Cooler. He tries to reflect it back, but he's too weak, and he flies through space. And he sees that he's flying straight towards the sun. He tries to stop the blast from landing on the sun, but it's too late, and he flies straight to the sun and burns alive. The Saiyans have won, and while Vegeta is starting to calm down, Broly is out of nowhere attacks Vegeta, laying a punch straight to the face. Vegeta doesn't understand why he did that, but now he can see Broly's out of control. His new Super Saiyan power, he practically has no control and is on an all-out rampage. And Vegeta, being the only one that can fight, rushes back at him. So another battle starts between Broly and Vegeta. And even if Vegeta has a level beyond Super Saiyan, it seems that Broly's power just keeps increasing, and he easily defeats Vegeta, and he's ready to kill him. But then he feels someone holding on his leg, and he sees that it's Gohan, who says that it's okay, the monster is gone, and he needs to calm down, or he'll hurt some of his family, or what is left. And after seeing Gohan, he calms down, turning back to base. They all fall to the ground, all tired. But after some time, Raymond, Orin, and Tien come to see the situation, and they brought some senzu from Korin, just in case. And it seems that the fighting has been over. They all fed him a senzu bean, and they're all back to full power. Everyone mourns the death of Nappa, especially Broly and Vegeta, but not too saddened, since they can bring him back with the Dragon Balls. But before they leave, someone shouts, congratulating them with their win, and that they want to talk to them. They look back, and they see two people. One who looks like a guy with Goku's gi, and some woman who cannot sense any ki from her. That is weird. Goku can feel that this guy's energy is similar to Gohan, but they don't know who she is. And it's in a weird, not woman's voice. She explains that they're correct about Gohan, that this is Gohan from the future, and his name is Baby, a project made by Dr. Mew. Raymond and Orin recognize that name, since they have been working with Dr. Mew, and they're wondering what are they doing here, from the future? And they explain what happened. In the future, Goku dies of a heart virus, and after a couple of years, androids 17, 18, and 13 attack the scene. Even with Vegeta having Super Saiyan 2, he had no chance against the android, and was killed. And with the death of Vegeta, Broly became a Super Saiyan once again, but even as a Super Saiyan, he can only hold back the androids, and only be able to be stronger than 17, but 13 was on a whole other league. And when the three team up, they easily defeat him, and he was killed as well as everyone else. The only survivors were Raymond and Raditz. Raymond, since Orin sacrificed himself to save her, and Raditz because of Broly's distraction. They both come back to Capsule Corp and met with Gohan. They were the only 3 Z fighters left. Well, Trunks too, but he is still too young to fight, and they need to wait a little bit more when he's able to train. So the 3 train in the wasteland and try to become as strong as they can, and maybe one day they can defeat the androids. With this training, Gohan has unlocked Grade 4 Super Saiyan. Raymond is able to push her Kaiokenmore, and Raditz has managed to unlock Super Saiyan 2. He also tries to get the primal Super Saiyan form that Vegeta used against Cooler, but since he never managed to unlock Ikari, he can never use it, so Super Saiyan 2 is his strongest form, so he keeps improving on that. The three continue their training, until one day the three androids find them, since they can see explosions, and 13 has a scanner where he can detect all the people's power levels. And they come to fight them, since they're a little bit bored. But Raymond and Raditz know that they're still not ready for the android, so they tell Gohan to run, since he's the only hope Earth has. Gohan tries to protest, but they tell him to run, and after a second of thinking, he understands, and he flies towards Capsule Corp. Raymond and Raditz look at each other, knowing that this may be their final battle, but they're not gonna give up. They both power up to their maximum and rush at the androids. Back to Gohan, he comes back to Capsule Corp, where Bulma and Dr. Mu are working on plans for the time machine, and they see Gohan panting and tired. Trunks asks him what is wrong, and where's Raymond and Raditz? He tells them everything, what happened, and Mu tells them that they should wait. Maybe they'll be able to escape and come back to them. So they wait. A couple of hours pass, but there's still no sign of return. Gohan is getting worried and says he'll go check on them. Trunks wants to come too, but Gohan says it's way too dangerous, and he flies alone. And when he goes to the wasteland, he is devastated. He sees Raymond and Raditz, both dead. Gohan is saddened and enraged. He snaps. A golden aura surrounds him, and he goes Super Saiyan, but his aura keeps intensifying, electricity surrounding him, and with another shout, he powers up. When the smoke settles, Gohan is revealed with spikier hair and electricity surrounding him. He has managed to unlock Super Saiyan 2 with the loss of his uncle and aunt, and he swears a bigger revenge against the androids. After a burial, he returns back to Capsule Corp, and he explains everything that happened, and everyone is saddened, and Dr. Mu is also a little bit saddened, since Raymond was the only Tuffle left, and now he's definitely the last Tuffle alive. And they should have stayed in hiding, because if they would have waited a little bit longer, maybe they would have had a chance. Gohan was about to ask what he means, but then they hear glass shattering. They all go to see what happened, but Dr. Mu already knows. Finally, his project is complete. Baby has finally been born. Baby looks around and sees everyone and Dr. Mu, his creator. He asks him what is his purpose, and Dr. Mu explains that his purpose is to protect the Earth and defeat the androids. Baby says he'll do anything he can. And while Baby is developing, Dr. Mu explains the abilities of Baby, and he has the ability to possess a person's body, and if you're able to make a cut on that opponent. And Gohan has an idea. Maybe he can make a cut on one of the androids, and with Baby's possession, they would have an android on their side. It's risky, but Gohan feels confident that with his Super Saiyan 2 power, he may actually be able to fight at least one android. So after a couple weeks, when Baby is fully developed, he and Gohan go to find the androids. When they do find them, Baby keeps his distance and waits for his chance to attack. So Gohan confronts them alone, and they're a little bit confused. It has only been a couple of weeks since they killed Raymond and Raditz. Is he really that confident? But just to make it a little bit easier for the kid, 18 says that she'll take him on alone, and Gohan thinks that this is a perfect chance. They're acting cocky, and that may give him a chance to get a cut on her body, and Baby will able to possess her. So he summons his rage and powers up to Super Saiyan 2. 13 scanners going crazy. His power level is quite impressive. It's higher than even Raditz, and tells 18 to watch herself, but she still feels confident, and they begin to fight. And 18 is still stronger than Gohan, but not by a considerable amount, and Gohan feels more and more confident with his plan. He's firing Kamehameha at 18, and she catches the blast, but then realizes he's very weak for some reason. Then she sees Gohan going through the blast, and he punches 18 at the arm, which makes a huge cut. For the first time, 18 is bleeding, which is surprising for the androids. It seems that Gohan has become powerful after all. But then Gohan shouts now, and they're confused. What does that mean? But then they see some weird white kid liquefy himself and enter 18 through that cut. 18 screams in agony and pain, and Android 13 and 17 are confused. What is happening? And asks if she's okay. But when 18 looks back at them, she smirks and flies to Gohan, standing beside him. 17 and 13 are weirded out. What just happened? And before they can even process what is happening, 18 fires a blast at them, which they barely defend against. And this gives an opportunity for Baby and Gohan to escape. Seems that it worked. Baby has successfully possessed 18. And when they do return, at first Bulma, Mew, and Trunks were scared to see 18 come in, but Gohan explains that Baby has managed to possess 18, and now they're happy to have an extra ally. So now, years pass, and even with Gohan Super Saiyan 2 and Baby having 18 body, they'll still not be able to defeat the other two androids. And now they're very wary about 18, since they now know about the possession, so they usually avoid her, or him, they don't know. They will after some time begin to train Trunks, who has grown up enough to become a fighter, and quickly was able to access Super Saiyan, which was a surprise. It's probably because Vegeta was already a Super Saiyan when Trunks was born, so which makes him become a Super Saiyan much faster, and they're confident if Trunks would be able to unlock Super Saiyan 2 and all of them three team up, they may be able to defeat the androids. But there is something else, the time machine. Dr. Mew and Bulma working together, they managed to make the time machine way faster than originally. If they use it, maybe they can change the past and make sure that the androids never arrive. So, Gohan and Baby decide to go to the past, and now they have arrived to try to change the future. Everyone is shocked to hear that in the future, they're all apparently dead, and Gohan is the only survivor left. Gohan and Baby explain that they need to train hard, that all the Saiyans need to get Super Saiyan 2, and Broly needs to learn to control his Super Saiyan power. If they do that, they should be able to defeat the androids. They give Goku the heart medicine, and the two return back to the future. Before starting their training, they gather the Dragon Balls and wish Nappa back to life. But surprisingly, Shenron says that Nappa refuses to come back. All of them are confused of Nappa's decision, but then they hear a voice. It is Nappa. He says that Cooler was right. He's actually getting a little bit old. He would just be in the way. After the defeat of Frieza, he feels content. There's no need for him to come back to life. He's confident in the new generation of Saiyans. He also tells them that he'll tell the other Saiyans that what has been happening, since all of them are in heaven and he's going to heaven too. So this is his goodbye. Vegeta and Broly tries to convince him, but at no avail. And they mourn, but they do understand Nappa's decision. And after a moment of silence, they all leave and prepare for the android's attack. And that's really of this part of What If the Good Saiyans Won the Civil War. As always, if you have what if suggestion for me, write down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing. And if this video reaches 30 likes, Kuro What If will make the next part. And I'll see you guys in my next video.